Hey guys, welcome to episode 81 of 4PlayerAnimecast. I am your host, Spire, along with the usual troop today. This is the 18th of November 2017, the exact middle of the fall season. I believe most series are going through their episode 6 or whatever, episode 7-ish.
6, 7, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's pretty much smack dab in the middle. We should have gone through a lot of the sort of more large brand / hype series of the season, but we'll be going through some of the others that we previewed a couple of episodes back. Anyways, we have here Dark. What's up?
Oh, whoa! Hey.
What have you been up to? I've been fighting people on the interwebs.
Oh shit! That's like every week, man.
That's like you.
I gotta
you
fucking fight the good fight, dude.
Yeah.
I've always got time for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've been watching pretty much everything again, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened? Oh yeah, I picked up Just Because.
Just because why?
Just because. And then also, I don't remember if I started watching last time or if I just started watching it after, but Netsuju. What the fuck's that name?
Netsuju. Yeah, it's Netsuju.
Yeah, Netsuju.
No susume.
Yeah, that. I don't speak that language. And I think that's pretty much it. There's really not many other shows this season. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Not bad. So that's been just keeping on for the most part. And what about you, Nier?
I've been busy mulliganing 3 each tars on turn 1.
Nier is having the worst of luck in our friendly neighborhood anime card game, SHADOWVERSE.
Shouts out to SHADOWVERSE.
Yeah, shoutouts. End my life. Other than that, I watched a large amount of Mahotsukai no Yome today, and then I watched Just Because haha. Other than that, I haven't really watched much because I kind of stopped watching things.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at this piece of news. Sorry, keep going.
Since the last episode we had, I just didn't watch anything really, and this game is fucking over.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of busy with real life stuff and playing video games and getting very angry at SHADOWVERSE.
Yes.
But yeah, that's about all I've watched is Mahotsukai no Yome, which every time I say the title of, I want to say Mahotsukai no Yoru, but that'll never happen.
Yes. Forever cockblocked by Kami.
Yeah, thanks, Kami. But,
hashtag 98.7% or whatever it was.
hashtag 100% complete. We're not going to release that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if they weren't even making them at all? They just said they were.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We have it 101% complete. We're a little bit lazy, guys. Oh Jesus. Anyways,
I have this done, but I'm the only one who can read it. So get out of my face.
I translated it into another form of Japanese. Oh Jesus. Anyways, good to hear. And Toast, what have you been up to these past 2 weeks?
Past 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Oh, in case you didn't know, I got the date wrong from Evan Sula.
Yes. Thank you.
I was excited a whole month ahead of when I should have been. Thanks. Also,
Toast thought it was November 4th. Yeah, when it was actually December 4th. And then he said he had to go out anyways, but that's a story for later. Anyways, Toast, go
you
on.
want me to tell it now? I can.
No. Go on with what you watched these past however many weeks.
Past 7 years.
I also have. Well, thank you for asking. I've also been playing Shadowverse. It's pretty good. I like PDK Dragon. It won me
Do I
30.
have to comment on my Shadowverse when it comes to my turn? What's happening here? This became a Shadowverse
It won me
stream?
30 games in a row and got me the
Hey,
master rank in one
show
day.
me your deck.
Jesus. Anyways,
Also, unlike Spire, who cheated and used the what was it, aggro Shadow to get his master rank, even though he
what
doesn't
do you
like
mean
Shadow.
cheated? This meta is so much better than fucking Tempest meta. Are you serious right now?
You didn't like aggro Shadow or whatever you played. Was it mid range with Iktar? Yeah, it was mid range.
Yeah, it
And
was
you were
the
like,
past stuff.
I don't like this deck, but I still use it to climb master rank. And I'm like,
Yeah.
where's your pride as a duelist?
As a duelist. I apologize for not having pride as a duelist. Anyways.
I got to master with PDK only because I like PDK, even though it got nerfed. All right,
anyways, that's very degenerate.
I watched dang, what was it called? Oh, I watched Black Clover. Yeah, that's the one.
Anyways, okay, so
I also watched it. There was also an OVA that was, I think, released by Zebek last year.
Zebek, which series?
Black Clover. There was a 1 episode OVA.
Okay. So they did Zebek did the OVA, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I have some stuff to say about Black Clover. Spoiler: it's not all that bad. Yes.
Well, that's good. At least it's not horrible, though. I mean, it's not like people. People do. I mean, it's not like you can't watch horrible shit, right? Black Clover. I believe there have been some opinions running rampant amongst
us. Are you
us.
speaking from experience, Spire?
Maybe. Anyways, I guess you'll be talking a little bit more about Black Clover a bit later, and then as for me, I've been on and off. I've been pretty busy. I guess my part of the Shadowverse thing. I have like enough files to craft like pretty much all of the meta decks right now, but I really don't want to because I'm too lazy and like. PDK is on the lane and stuff like that. And I don't.
I didn't craft a thing, anything.
I mean, that's because
you fucking cool, dude?
Yeah,
I got 3
because you have really good.
I had to melt like every fucking card I own to get PDK.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? You have very good fact luck, Toast. Yes.
Congratulations. I got Dara, she's cool.
Yes, you got to Masters in a meta where PDK was literally 40% of the decks played. Anyways.
Oh, was it? I never encountered a single PDK deck in like the last week that I've played.
You made PDK during the PDK meta. What are you talking about? Anyways,
You're saying, like, from my experience, I've been dueling every day for the past week in ranked, and I've never encountered another PDK deck. It's only ramp. I've only encountered ramp, dragon.
No, you made PDK during. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna go on. Anyways,
I like the deck. I don't care about what's meta or anything.
Whatever. We can talk about this later. But anyways.
I win.
What was it? Yeah. So I've been on and off. You know, a little bit of real life's been catching up to me. Also, I've been kind of changing my exercise and diet habits pretty radically. So that's been kind of doing whatever to my
What have you been playing, Spire? What deck?
What
deck have you been playing?
Can we? Why are you bringing the conversation back to this?
Oh, I like Shadowverse.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this later. But in terms of what anime manga I've been reading / watching, again, I've been kind of on and off on usual of my light novel, web novel, and although there have been some pretty funky things coming up on the web novel verse.
Is the vending machine one getting an anime?
I don't know, but I mean, I hope it gets translated a bit more, although it's been kind of boring recently because all they're doing is just like random party monster beating stuff, but it's not really like the main characters and the vending machine beating stuff. It's like their goonies beating up the monsters. It's kind of like whatever. But anyways, that's been a thing, and there have been a couple of like more edgy manga web novels like that have been translated and coming out and stuff like that.
Like what?
But then
Dungeon Seeker?
no. There's like a couple of other ones like isekai or there's this other one that's sort of like no not smartphone is very edgy, yes. But there's been a couple of other ones where it's like a swordsman has been summoned to the other world and now they're gonna like mercilessly beat the shit out of everybody. Like there's been like one or two other ones that have been yeah, there's been a couple of that coming out and I've been like that's whatever. And some of them are realistic, some of them are not in terms of character interaction. So but there is a guilty pleasure that I will admit to. I did crack and download/get/buy the sequels to Nekonin EX Heart.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You want a coupon for it?
Well, technically that's not terrible, but it's like I still feel guilty getting that shit. But yeah, I've been reading that on and off, and I've been like, the worst part is, it's like, so they're running this model where it's like, they make the sequel, right? And then the sequel introduces another character, and then they make that character sit around into another sequel. I'm like, oh my god, please stop doing that. Stop doing this.
Who's your favorite Nekonin?
They're all relatively equal. I mean, none of them have a lot of development, so it's not like I really take to any of them. So it's whatever. But yeah, that's been sort of my guilty pleasure. Other than that, I've been kind of like, watching a little bit of Just Because, watching Netsuju no Susume, and some other stuff. I really want to catch back up to Animegataris. I want to watch Automaster Side M because I guess I have to. I have to take one for the team, I guess. And I also have two car downloaded, but I'm not sure if I want to watch that or just barf in the
watch
bucket.
it. All right.
Well, yeah, but you also have a stomach of steel and can watch these things without vomiting. So yes. But anyways, that's pretty much my list. And I guess with that done, we'll start off with me going first, which is relatively rare actually.
Yeah, coward.
You got me. But I'll start off with Just Because, and that is a series that sort of started off as a scandal on Twitter, right? Because the artist behind, I believe, Sakuraso and Sword Art Online Progressive, right? The light novel. The light novel artist behind that created like a series of drawings, I guess. No. He created like an ONA, right? Or something like that on Nico Nico. And then like it also got on Twitter for a bit called Getsuyobi no Tawa or something like that. Or Doyobi no Tawa. Or it's Getsuyobi no Tawa,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like Tawa on Mondays or Sundays or whatever it is, right? So
Are you sure this is the same artist for Sakura-so?
I believe so.
I will heavily say no.
Because I remember him saying he worked with the author behind Sakura-so, and I thought they were because it was other connections. But I'm not entirely sure.
Himura Kiseki, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, I could be wrong. Yeah, so but it's definitely the artist behind Sword Art Online Progressive, right? So that person got into like a scandal over, not a scandal, but like a sort of like an incident with this company and a couple of other people over making that ONA and everything else. Or no, with like YouTube, right? Because like they like streamed it on YouTube or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, you can't do that," it's like inappropriate or some other bullshit. They got into trouble, and then that became a big like Twitter sensation. And then later on, he and some other directors and the author behind Sakura-so made an anime, or decided to make an anime project, or original anime project called Just Because. So this would be just like a slice of life / school life thing about a transfer student coming in, meeting some old friends / acquaintances, and then the whole like romance, drama, whatever thing begins, right?
Yes.
To be the right call.
No.
But anyways, so that's about it. And then I forget who it was made. No, I forget who the studio was, but all the important staff are as already listed before. The voice acting cast is relatively new, actually. Like all of the main cast has relatively new
One.
has toast has relatively new careers, if I remember correctly. Like Isobe Karin, the person behind the main hero, like this is her first main role. I mean, her first like anything role, really. That's from what it looks like. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of newcomers, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Anyways, I believe Dark and Nier have both also watched a little bit of Just Because, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
got up to episode 5.
Yeah. What do you guys think of it? I mean, I obviously have my opinions on it because I brought it up. But what are you guys' initial sort of?
I think all of the characters are fucking autistic.
They're great.
As you do.
I like them.
No, but really, they're a little spurgy.
I think it's fucked up because it's like, so what happens is like the Sakura So author sort of like, in my opinion, it's not really the fault of the Sakura So author in a sense where it's like he knows like he wants to do these like slow down, like it's obviously trying to be as slow as possible, right? Like slow down, whatever, slice of life, just do regular like school thing arenas, whatever, right? Just get through it. But then somewhere along the way, he's just like, oh shit, I have to include a romance. Whether it's because of his own urgings, whether it's just because of the whole like Japanese anime culture, whether it's the producers urging him, or all of the above, right? He's like, I have to make this romance shit happen, right? And so what I noticed was that all of the girls start becoming like mad, like proactive. You know what I mean? They're like, "Hey, come with me," and they're like drag people into places, and they're like, "Oh, we'll do this," or like, "I'll confess here," or do whatever stuff. And it's very unconventional in that way. I'm not saying that obviously like there are definitely a lot of proactive girls like in real life, but it feels very strange that, especially like because the main character is like a transfer student, right? And he's just like there, and like even though it's like old acquaintances, it's not like, wow, hey, let's get together, hey, we're old friends again. It's not like that because they weren't even like super close friends before, right? They were still acquaintances in middle school, right?
Yeah.
More or less.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it seems like one of them was at least. He was friends with the
short-haired
dude.
Yeah, he was friends, but then like they clearly weren't like super close friends, right? Because they were like, yeah, how many years has it been, stuff like that, right? But
well, no, it was that they were close friends and they would talk every day. Then once he moved away, slowly but surely they stopped.
They just stopped contacting each other.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's happened.
But
it
in
certainly
relation,
happened to me.
Maybe, yeah.
In relation to the transfer student and the main girl, she goes like, "Wow, you don't even remember me?" And it's like, well, no.
No.
It's like, I'm surprised you remember me.
Yeah, but yeah, I just it's very the girls are very like proactive, and I don't think it's not the type of proactive where they're just like, hey, let's like do stuff like like what regular people do, right? Girls, whatever, like any really person. It's just like, hey, let's just get together, let's party, let's do whatever. It's not that sort of proactive. It's a very obvious prelude to romance kind of proactive, which makes sense in a meta context, right? In a sort of, oh, well, this has to happen sort of context. But it doesn't obviously make sense in a character interaction, a natural slice of life / school life context, which makes it a very sort of awkward and spurgy, as you said.
Well, I mean, the main girl is just like, oh, I can't do anything because I have entrance exams. Like, this show might as well just be called entrance exams.
I got like entrance exams. That is the name of it.
Like, the fucking transfer student guy even calls her out on it, and then the next episode is like, oh yeah, never mind. I didn't mean it. It's like, what? Of course you fucking meant it, dude. I don't like the main girl. I like at all. She's really annoying.
What do you mean by annoying exactly?
I don't know. She just seems like a bitch, dude. Like she's
She's
talking about.
nice.
She's talking about like entrance exams and shit, and then she's like saying, "Oh, I've got to do this and that, and I'm doing this for so and so's sake or whatever." And it's like, well, yeah, but like, who cares? Like you're not doing anything yourself. So like, why are you
She's just kind
here?
of walking around like complaining about interest exams.
Yeah, like
exactly.
she's there, but she's not doing anything. Like like why is she here? Is she here so that the main character can yell at her about entrance exams and then apologize for it later? Like what is the point? Like the most interesting character in this show is the like photography club girl.
Oh yeah, because she has like a motivation to do like
because she's doing stuff. Sure. Like they already cut short the romance between the jock and like the quiet girl. Like that's already done. She's already rejected him.
Wow, spoilers.
So like what else? What are any of these other characters doing?
Yeah, they're kind of just like kind of awkwardly just hanging around each other is what you're complaining about.
Yeah, like they've already had all this shit happen, and now everyone's just like,
should you get to the
aquarium? I mean, sorry.
Maybe Jock's gonna be like,
what? I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I want something to happen in this show, man.
It's very fucked up. It's very unfortunate too because it's like the graphics are almost like parallel with like what people want. It's like when we saw like Tala and we saw like the actual pictures on Twitter and everything like that, they were pretty good quality, right? But it's like obviously the anime can't be of that quality because it's an anime, right? It has to be sort of like rushed out. It has to be lower quality, stuff like that. And it's sort of the same with the plot, where it's like the Sakura-Star author isn't like bad, and if this was like a 24 episode, maybe slower slice of life, and it wasn't supposed to be focused on whatever stuff, maybe the slower pace, people just living life, getting through entrance exams, maybe without the girl complaining about entrance exams all day, maybe it'll be a little bit more understandable, right? But
I mean, I don't
like
it's trying to
do like
I don't mind like the slower pace and stuff, but
yeah,
like I don't know. They've already essentially done what the series kind of like set up, right? The one pair has already confessed, and then nothing happened, and then I guess the main pair, or what I assume is supposed to be the main pair. I don't know. They might do some fucking switcheroo where the photography girl's the actual main girl, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting allusions to that, but like they've already kind of passed that point, and now they're kind of just waffling about, and it's like, well, what do we do next?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you've kind of lingered on this for 2 episodes now. It's kind of time to find out what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then
so if you were the director,
they throw in these other characters. That's like, I don't even know who these people are.
They're just there.
Like the girl that gives the main girl those 2 charms, the girl with the glasses. Like, who is this? I don't even know your name. And the blonde guy that chased after him, the jock, when he was riding on his bike. Who the fuck was that?
Oh wait, are you talking about the blonde dude with like the brownish fade?
Yeah. Like, who the hell was that?
He's there. He was in episode 1. It seemed like, at least from the not promotion shit, but the other stuff, that he might actually wind up being something with the fucking photography girl, but
like, yeah, they're just throwing in these characters and like, who are these people?
What are they doing right now? Yeah.
There's no introduction to them. They're just there, and it's like,
Right.
who are you?
Right. Can I? Okay. So what I'm curious about is this is sort of wrapping up the discussion, but it's if you were the director, right? Would you rather sort of have them try to wrap up the romance part and then kind of just do whatever such life plus like growth stuff? Would that be more preferable for you and probably, in your opinion, preferable for the story? Or would you kind of be like, okay, let's put some sort of relatively realistic motivator in there / catalyst and get them to focus a little bit on the romance drama thing, or like have something coherent in terms of romance / drama come up, and then kind of run on that. Which one do you think would be more preferable for you?
Well, this is supposed to be a romance anime, so I would assume the
I mean,
latter.
ignore what it's supposed to be. Ignore what it's supposed to be. that's why I'm asking you. Like, if you were the director,
What I would prefer,
yeah. If you had those two choices, like, would you want something new to kind of kick up the romance, and then you kind of go on those romance trails, or would you be like, you know what, let's not dilly dally too much on like, oh, we have to get romance, and let's take it slow. So which one of those two?
I mean, I like romance, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Sakuraso wasn't really like about romance, right? Like
It was a little bit more about failure and growth. Yeah.
it was there, but it wasn't like
It wasn't the backbone.
Yeah, it wasn't a romance series.
Mhm.
So I feel like I would prefer to see more of like the character growth and then just them kind of I guess moving on, because they're supposed to be are they graduating, or did they just start their last year? So I haven't really been paying attention, but
I think they are setting up for their last year.
yeah, okay. Because they're talking about like, oh,
Entrance exams.
entrance exams. But like, there was the one conversation about, oh, are you going to continue like band in college? And she's like, probably not.
Yeah.
Well, why?
And the other person like running and stuff like that, the sports.
Yeah,
club.
I would be more interested in seeing like, interactions like that rather than teenagers spurging out about confessing love to each other. Like,
right. I understand.
I've seen the romance thing a million times, and
Uh-huh.
I like romance, but I don't.
It can't be just people doing whatever they want.
Yeah, I don't know if these are the characters I really want to see in like a romance series, because like
Mhm.
I don't want to say they're not likable, because like in the first couple episodes I was like, I don't give a shit about any of these characters. Like why would I, right?
Right. I understand.
As it goes on, you're like, oh, I mean, I guess this guy's okay and that guy's okay, but I still fucking hate the main girl. But like, I don't know. These are more of the characters I would want to see kind of grow and develop beyond what they currently are, rather than just falling in love with each other and being happy and it's like, waha, woo, This is more of a character growth series for me than it is like a high school romance thing. Because I mean, it seems they've already gone past the romance for one pair. I don't know what they're gonna do with the other. I don't know what they're gonna do with the photography girl.
It's just like, gonna fucking kill, or it's like, we're done here, and then
I don't know if it's just gonna blow through pairs, and then by the end it's gonna be like, romance is dead, haha. I don't know, but I'm not really impressed by what they've done. I hope it's something more than just high school romance, but I don't know. The last thing I want to say about this is this show is still the ugliest show this season by far.
Yeah, it's that, I think that's almost the that's almost like the biggest disappointment, just because it's like the whole like anime was built around the hype that like this guy who drew these sort of like cute but yet sexy things as like Kawa and stuff like that was going to draw just because, right? And the trailer didn't look like terrible or anything. that, right?
Yeah.
But then this shit happens, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if you noticed, but when they went to the aquarium,
Mhm.
the fish were live action. It was live action footage superimposed.
I didn't notice that.
Well,
Yeah.
if you look at the if you look in like some of their rooms and shit, like things on the walls are just straight up pictures.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like some of the pictures they take out on their phones and stuff, they're just like real pictures. Like it's like, oh, I don't want to draw this. I'll just fucking take a picture.
It's just like Shaft, dude.
But yeah, except Shaft does it in a way that's not fucking garbage. So, but like, I don't know. That and the weird fucking line fellatio. I don't know. This show's weird. It's got some weird things. Like they really like plugging line, and they really like showing Canon whenever she pulls out her fucking camera.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wait, that's
maybe this show has some sponsors.
That's like what's it called though too? That show from last season, Inspire, that I can't fucking remember for some reason. The romance drama, slice of life one that we watched.
Which wait, what are you talking about?
The one that also had the really fucking awful audio visuals. Well, not awful, but good. The one with the what were they? Were they middle school? I can't remember if they were middle school or high school.
Oh, the one that like blended in between
Blend S.
No,
shut
the
up.
one that
The
blended.
one
like,
that like blended in
Nice.
the one that randomly transitioned between 2D and 3D and like
yeah.
Tsuki ga Kirei, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. This reminds me a lot of Tsukigaki Day,
Yeah.
except with a lot less plosives voice acting.
Yeah, but I don't know. This show's color palette's pretty poor. It's very muted, I guess. I don't know. It's very I don't know. It's kind of bleak. Like it's very cold. It doesn't really give off a high school life vibe, and it doesn't help that the actual frames are a little shoddy. It's a weird show.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Also, I forgot to bring in Dark of Ed before wrapping this. So I did. I mean, on what Neo said again, do you kind of more or less agree with what he said about sort of how the pacing is going and what they've done with the cast in terms of how the romance started and died?
I've only watched 3 episodes, so that was a spoiler for me.
Good job, here.
I'm curious. I mean, that makes me curious to know if like they're gonna try and make that a thing where he's trying to actually make something still, because that doesn't like in the opening art or whatever. It's the camera girl with the blonde haired dude, the main guy with the main girl, and then the jock with the trumpet. So
Yeah, well,
I'm wondering if they're trying to do like
in the OP, there's a shot of the main character and the camera girl like fucking having some emotional fucking thing. There's no audio or anything, but I don't know. And what they're doing right now is they're essentially pairing up the photography club girl with the main character. So
fun.
Yeah, and then that's gonna create the drama or whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, unless they like an ultimate switcheroo and just everyone goes everywhere else. Fucking...
And right now the jock is just, oh, I'm garbage. Oh,
I failed. It's over. Yeah.
That's actually what I would have liked to have seen more of. More shit like that. Like kind of insignificant things to almost cope with the idea that they're never going back to like this point in their life again.
Right.
And where he's like, I want to hit the home run. Why? I gotta do something before I graduate.
Fuck it, man. Yeah, exactly.
I would have liked to see more shit like
Yeah, again, I think we would all like to see a little bit more sort of on the growth and like that sort of skill. Like again, what Tsukigakure sort of tried to do, but then they got a little bit focused a bit much on the whole romance part as well. Although Tsukigakure was sort of right on the track, but then with Just Because, it's a little bit more incoherent. It's like it started and then they're like, oh, well, you know, it fucked up. Now what do we do? And nobody really has an answer. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Anyways, any last words from either of you guys about the series?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm I don't know. I didn't want this to be bad because, like, you know, anime original. You always want anime originals to be good, but sometimes sometimes that can be.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate when things that are not straight adapts and things that are hyped for okay reasons, not like obviously degenerate reasons, like kind of go awry like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess with that, we will move on to the next series. We have up for batting. We have Black Clover.
Aha! Speaking of up for batting, because there's a character who has a flame bat. I get you. Nice meme, Spire.
Thanks, Toast. You want to lead us off on the discussion, Toast?
I was going to do my best to ask the impression, but then I decided I shouldn't.
Just scream at the top of your lungs and you're good.
Yeah.
Don't actually do that.
Don't actually do that, please. The fact that we actually had to like say that. Anyways,
Yeah.
go on, Toast.
I mean, once you can get past Asta's like screaming voice, it sounds like like he's trilling, like he's a giant bird. I don't know why they decided for the VA to crazily extend his words like that with the trilling. I mean, it's not all that bad.
Well, Dark actually had an opinion on this. Do you want to?
But it's also not all that good either. It's right in the middle.
I had an opinion on what?
What?
On the voice, right?
Oh, it's fucking awful.
It is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have the same opinion.
I literally closed the show after like fucking 4 minutes because he doesn't shut up. Like he screams for like 3 minutes straight when he should just be talking. It's like I didn't like it. I didn't like where they were going with it. It's just it seemed like they chose the voice because that was like only real voice that was close enough to that character on that voice actor's like tape or whatever that he had on his website, but they really could have told him to fucking tone it back. And in fact they should have.
Okay. By the way, can either of you guys give us just like a really quick rundown of what exactly Black Clover is?
It's Naruto!
It's Naruto with magic.
With fairy tale elements.
Yeah.
Okay, with fairy tale, okay.
Essentially, the main character can't use magic, but he wants to be the Hokage. But the Hokage has to use magic. So his magic is never giving up.
Yeah, that's right.
Q Shonen.
Q Shonen.
Asta has no magic, and he's been like, I'm going to become the Mage Emperor or Wizard King or whatever you want.
The top.
Yeah, the Grand Wizard.
Top dog. Keep going.
And he's all like, I'm gonna do it, just you wait. But then he realizes he has no magic, or he has no magic potential, so all he's been doing is he's been training his body.
Right.
And his rival slash Sasuke friend, he's super gifted in magic and all that. But he's all like, you're my greatest rival, and Yuno's all like, you're my rival too, Asta. And then
he gets special eyes.
And then when the time comes that he gets his magic book, none of them choose him, but gets the rare 4 clover book, which is because they live in the Clover Kingdom, so having a 4-leaf clover must signify something cool. But then Asta gets his like dirty, decrepit book, and it has a black 5-leaf clover on it. And then it turns out that because he has no magic potential, he can use the black sword, which is anti-magic / magic
Oh, it's
nullification.
it's like So it's not like he has like a growing like superpower or whatever. It's more just like he has the anti-power. So it's like the whole negation thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I got that. Yeah. Okay. So I guess with that aside, thank you for telling me about like, powers and stuff.
Then he feels like I'm going to be a magic emperor, so I need to join the magic knights. And then they have a magic knight test, and he sucks.
Right. I mean
he
that's
fails,
the whole like standard
fails
shonen
at all
stuff,
of
right?
them except in the combat thing. And then some Japanese dude named Yami, voiced by Junichi Suwabe, he's all like, "I like you, kid. Join my crew. Join my magic knight crew." And now he's joined his Yami's group of ragtag misfit magic knights who don't fit in anywhere else. And that's about as far as episode 7 gets.
Yeah.
He's an official magic knight now with the delinquent group. The end. That's all that came out in episode 7, which is the latest one.
Damn, you've watched 7 episodes of this, huh?
Yeah.
So I guess again, I have not watched it, but I know the others have. But what are the voice acting aside? What are your okay? I want to phrase this carefully because it's like
Here,
I know
I'll start this off. The voice acting with Asta, it starts off really bad, but like gradually he's toned it down more.
Eventually your eardrums kind of just die out, and you can't hear anything else.
It might be Stockholm syndrome, but as the episodes went on, I think the voice actors gradually become more accustomed to being Asta, so he's less like being really chirpy with his voice, even though he's not lengthening his syllables as much, is what I should say. So it's more tolerable overall.
So again, voice acting aside, I want to be careful of how I phrase this because I don't want it to be going through. I don't want to be going through the standard like, oh well, compared to other shonens. Like I don't want that conversation. But like, I guess I do have to ask it in this because there's really no other way to ask it. But I mean, I guess how do you find it, especially in comparison to? It's alright, I guess. Okay, it's like even if you're not like a shonen watcher, is it still like alright in a sense? Like just to go through.
Are you calling me a not shonen watcher?
No, even if somebody else was just like, yeah, I want to watch something with like a little bit of action and growth stuff like that, but I'm not really that into shonen. Would you still like recommend the Black Clover?
Well, like Prince of the Universe is saying in chat, it's so unabashedly shonen, and all of that.
It's so unabashedly.
That
I mean,
some
the thing
people
is,
might like it.
Huh? Okay.
Like you won't find any new tropes in this. It's the story similar to Naruto, where he wants to become Hokage, and he's got this special power that no one else does. And
I mean, okay, so it's like we do meme about shonen. I'm not going to say that like, oh, I obviously like we've made like finer points, or like we meme a lot about shonen, but it's like like if we had to create like a finer point on it, how do we say this? It's not like the tools that shonen uses itself in terms of like growth and stuff like that are like bad, but it's like oftentimes they sacrifice like character development and so on for power creep / power growth, right? Because they need to defeat the stronger boss. So it's like,
I mean, is there going to be a power creep? We don't know because.
I mean, he has to become the fucking Magic Emperor King, right? So,
well, what if he only needs the sword to do that?
He has, but
how is he gonna do that?
He has no magic spire. The only thing
he's gonna do the exact same thing for all the fights.
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
all he has is his kinniku and his body and his combat prowess. So all he's gonna do, like, he's got the sword. All he's gonna do is he's gonna come in running. The bad guy's gonna launch his strongest spell. Asta's like, haha, not giving up is my magic. And then he like swats the magic back at the dude, and he's like, oh no! And then the dude self-destructs from his own magic. Just like what he did with the fire baseball guy.
How serious is it in terms of how do you say this? I need to be specific on what I want it to be serious about. Like, is it serious in terms of how it treats its like sort of moral calculus? In terms of, you know, like, oh, I should be nice to this old lady crossing the street, or like I shouldn't be nice to this villain because he's doing bad things. I should cut him down. Like, is it very serious tone in dealing with its moral calculus, or is it pretty like cheesy and kind of light all the way through?
It's pretty cheesy. Asta's character, he's loud and annoying. He's pretty genki.
Okay.
And he shrugs things off. And when people make fun of him for like, you have no magic, you're just some dude, you're just some farm boy orphan. He's all like, you won't know that unless I try. And then he beats them up with his magic sword.
Okay.
Kind of like that. Like,
as long as that sort of like package is sort of contained in that way, like it's very cheap. It doesn't try to do something else that it's not. I can sort of respect that. Like, I don't have to, you know, like it necessarily, but I can sort of respect in a sense what it's doing in terms of that very cheesy package.
If you want character development, it's not going to be from Asta because he's pretty resolute in his own character.
It's not going to be from the main character. Yeah.
Like you're going to get it from everyone else because, like, along with him, who just recently joined the Black Bulls, that's his Magic Knight place. There's this chick who's from a noble family and has high magical power, but she can't control it. And Asta's all like, "Oh, I see you're not just some noble who's high and touty. You're training hard, and like that's admirable." Then, I mean, from what I see, it's if it's gonna be like that, it's gonna be Asta helping people, helping their delinquent group of Magic Knights overcome their own difficulties. And so whatnot, because you know they're all delinquents. No other Magic Knight would take them. So yeah, Asta's gonna probably be the leader of the group, the guy that everyone looks up to, because not giving up is his magic.
Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. Do you guys again? Like I'm trying to comment this from an outsider perspective, but do you guys? You know, Dark, if you guys have kind of went through it a little bit more, do you guys have any comments on sort of how the shonen aspect of this kind of rounds out the package?
I couldn't stand like 5 minutes of this show. I'm sorry.
Dark.
I literally turned it off at the gym.
God damn, you guys are no help. Fuck you guys.
I gave it like 3 or 4 minutes, and he still wouldn't stop screaming. And then I skipped ahead, and he was still
fixated on it.
I could not stand the show.
We are so fixated on it. It's only fucking here. Like what?
Have you heard it?
I have not heard it actually.
Go look up a YouTube video right fucking now and listen to it. It's really fucking bad.
He's like a bird. He's a crow. He's
Oh
calling.
my god.
I mean, if you compare it to the OVA that was released last year from Zivik, the dude who voiced Asta does not have this same problem. He's pretty, typically shonen-esque voice-wise, but the way they voice Asta in this one is pretty unique, so he's definitely left an impact on the community.
Yeah, like a fucking brain. To be fair, though, like I feel bad for the voice actor because a lot of people were giving the voice actor shit, but it's not him. It's very obviously the voice direction because he has a tape in which he does a bunch of different voices, and they're all perfectly fine and good. And then he, for some reason, has that one in there, and they went with that one. That is the only one that sounds like god awful. They went with it, so it's not really his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, moving on from that stuff, the story it's a middleman amongst the shonen giants.
Are you like weaving a wicker basket or something? What are you
What the fuck?
Yes.
I get what's going on, but
I mean,
uh,
I don't know what else to say about the show other than it's really, really cliche and generic. There's
I was screaming.
Yeah, you listen to that? You want to watch an entire episode of that?
You want to watch 7 episodes
I would
of this?
totally watch an entire episode of that just for the pure like. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That voice actor's still alive. At
That's
the
like
end of
that's
the
like
season.
that's like the
Really
female. You know how it's like they have the female Goku like voice actor like screaming during like the Kamehameha scenes and like
Yeah,
the
but she doesn't trill as much as Asta
yeah,
does.
It's like that turned up a notch. That's hilarious. Oh my god, that's golden. But yeah, I mean, I didn't. I don't think I'm like insulting Black Clover or anything like that. I mean, I think that it's a generic shonen or whatever. Doesn't necessarily. Obviously, it kind of loses on the novelty points, but as long as it's aware that its package is sort of selling, I think I think that's sort of okay as long as it does it in that sort of cheesy manner that it comes with the whole like shonen package. I think that's somewhat okay. I mean, you said that it doesn't go into the whole like serious. Oh, but if I kill
Not
this
yet.
villain, then what happens? I mean, not yet, but it's like hopefully it doesn't. But it's like if I kill this villain, then what happens to my morale? Like it doesn't go
No,
into
no,
that.
it's not gonna be into that.
It stays relatively cheesy. So I again, like I don't have to necessarily like it and watch it all day, but I can respect what it's doing in terms of the overall package.
I don't think you can make a show or a series like this without being self-aware of like how pure shonen you are. Like you have a character that's an underdog that wants to be a fucking Hokage essentially, and he has to use his determination to get there. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of human being can make something like that and be like,
especially after
this is
Naruto.
original.
Especially after Naruto. Yeah, exactly. I get what you're talking. Okay, well, I mean, as long as we made that clear. Any last words on Black Clover Toast?
I like Yami, the guy voiced by Genie Suave. He's pretty much a straight man, making fun of everyone.
Oh yeah, Junichi Suabe is in this, right? Okay.
I mean, I'd definitely recommend it for someone who likes shonen because it's so cliche and it's so like.
It's very
shonen.
cheesy and kind of yeah.
I don't think you're getting anything new with this, but if you know what you like, definitely go for it.
No.
Like don't listen to the haters saying
The haters.
Asta's voice is pretty bad.
Oh Jesus!
Because
All right.
once you've gotten into as far into it as I have, you'll develop Stockholm syndrome just like me, and you'll be like, don't worry,
Don't worry.
It's tolerable.
If you get far enough into it, you go insane, and it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, your ears start bleeding, and you're like, oh, that's okay.
This is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks again, Toast, for the heads up. Yeah.
I'm glad this got an anime. I have high-ish. No, I don't.
High
I have
expectations.
standard hopes for it.
Okay.
Like people will like it.
I take that back.
People will like it, but for me, I mean, I'm sure I'll keep watching it. It's made by Pierrot, the studio that did like Yu Yu Hakusho and
Pierrot,
all that good stuff. So
Mhm.
the animation definitely won't be that bad.
It won't randomly sync. It's not like some random like trigger shit. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep up with it. I'll detail you his adventures at becoming Magic Hokage.
You just say something bad about Trigger?
Yeah, is it our art
dare
style,
you.
dude?
Did you just?
Is our fucking art style, dude? Are you serious?
Fuck you.
Oh Jesus. Anyways, moving on to our last series of the day, we have Dark.
I don't remember.
Netojiro no Susume.
Susume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I believe in English it's like the recovery of a 30-year-old MMO junkie. I believe it's like the official name for it or something like that. But yeah,
It's just recovery of an MMO junkie.
recovery and MMO junkie. Yeah, but we'll go with Netuju for now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the premise is actually completely kind of goes against the fucking title, by the way. There's no recovery. Yeah, in fact, it starts with the main character. She quits her fucking job to become a NEET. So it's the opposite of an MMO junkie recovery. It's a fucking relapse. But
yeah, exactly.
So basically, the show starts. You have this like 30-year-old businesswoman who decides to quit her job to become a NEET, and she starts by like finding out that an old MMO she used to play with a friend who she only knew online was like the servers went down, so she has to find a new one. And then she starts playing this new one, and she meets like a couple people and finds this girl Lily. Oh yeah, her character is also male. Like, she plays a male character.
Right. The main heroine plays a male character in the game, so she's gender rendering.
Yeah, and then she meets this other character, Lily, and they become friends. Guild, and then she just meets a bunch of people in game, and then slowly but surely you find out that Lily is the character of this guy she runs into in real life, and it kind of goes from there, where it's like people in the game coincidentally also know each other in real life, but they don't know it.
And then it starts like sort of like going in and out between.
Yeah, between like interactions in the game, interactions in real life.
Who's the dude at the cash registers selling Mabinogi stuff?
That is the green-haired guy.
Yeah, the one voiced by Nakamura, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happens. Yeah, they meet people, and then romance and other sort of interactions starts happening, right?
Yeah, cucking.
On the subject of cucking, how do you feel about? I guess going into actual opinions, how do you feel about the series so far?
I really like it. It's stringing me along. I wish it wasn't.
It's gonna drop you into the NTR canyon like in a bit.
Nah, that's not allowed. They're not allowed to do that. They can't fucking do that, dude.
You're like that Buster from whatever in that episode of Arthur. It's like, you can't lie on the internet. It's like that.
Can't do it.
You can't NTR on our official anime. Like, that's not allowed.
You can't just fucking bait me into NTR like this, please.
Jesus. But I guess if I may interject with what I also found out, it's like I do like the first thing I like. Actually, it's not the first thing, but it's one thing I thought of while we were describing the series. Is I do like how they have sort of kept this balance between interactions in the MMO and interactions in real life. Although I believe it'll probably start skewing towards the real life as soon as more and more people get introduced in real life, right? But I keep thinking that so it's like they interact and then they say some stuff, and then they go back and then they see the reactions, in the MMO world, and then sort of rinse and repeat, right? But I do like that they actually keep that balance instead of being like, yeah, I met them in real life, like 2 seconds of that, and then they immediately just focus on real life. So there's an actual balance. I do like that. As for the actual, interactions or romance and stuff like that, the characters themselves are worked out pretty decently, like realistically, except for that one like sidekick dude. That guy's an asshole. But what was it? The romance part.
I would say, say though, before you go, I would say the side character. Fuck, what was his name? It was like, hey, Kia something.
Koiwai or something like that, I think.
Koiwai.
His last name? Yeah, his last name.
Yeah, so he it's hard to determine what he is right now. Because they keep saying that he likes messing with people, and it's
that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing in the romance plot, right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very clear that he knows that Sakura, the male lead, likes Mori Mori. Like, it's very clear that he knows that. And it seems like he's trying to almost pair them up in a way, but in a really roundabout way as to not fuck with him.
Rather, the big question is both, I guess, to the character and to the audience at hand, although I'm not sure whether it's just that sort of vagueness is, I guess the vagueness is relatively intentional, but it's like, is the sidekick character willing to commit and then force this into a love triangle / misunderstanding, in which case, that sort of thing gets extended over a couple of chapters, and then the sidekick later gives up, or the girl, realizes, oh, the other person is really nice, stuff like that. Does that happen? Or is it a slightly more uncommon route where it's like, the sidekick's like, yeah, these two are kind of, getting it on, I won't be an asshole and kind of butt in too much. I'll kind of be on the side, make some trollish stuff, maybe like a misunderstanding for like an episode at the very start of the route. But other than that, I'll be a good, wingman. So it's like how much the sidekick is willing to commit, right?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it's going to be the lattermost, just because in a most recent episode, the Kawhi winds up starting to play the MMO as well.
Oh, really? I didn't watch that episode, but yeah.
They all make alternate characters.
Oh my fucking god!
Because Mori Mori doesn't want every Kawhi to figure out who her in-game character is.
Wait, so the two know each other yet? I mean, the main character and the heroine and the main sort of dude, right? Do they know each other yet? I feel like
they know each other outside, but they don't know that they're in.
Yeah, they're like super close to knowing each other in game, though. Like
they're gonna meet each other's alts, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because what happened was at least in the preview for the new episode, like the original MMO friend she had is very clearly like it's them two still.
Yeah.
Like when they had played the original MMO and they had their like young, weird cherub-looking characters, that was who was there. Evidently, because Sakura, I think in the next episode or in this episode, goes like, "Holy shit, you look like this person character or something." So, or rather, like you look like my character from the other. And so they're gonna meet each other's alts next episode, I believe. But what happens now is that the only person who knows of the main heroine's main character is the green-haired dude from the.
Yeah, the green-haired dude, like the guildmaster or whatever, pretty much knows everything. He is the middleman, but he's just like, to extend the story, of course, the author is just like, I can't let this guy has to be like the tester, sort of like the secretive one. I can't let him tell anybody, stuff like that.
Yeah. And so like that's kind of what's happening there. So I think it's leading up to them at the very least realizing that, oh, you were that person that I really liked in that other game. Wow, fancy that. And then I'll be like, but wait, you're also Lily? Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Which is also why I think it's going to be the lattermost thing with the sidekick guy, because she, when they're talking in game, Morika's talking about her dates with two of them, essentially. One night and then the second night.
Mm-hmm.
And she only talks about the date with Sakura that they weren't even supposed to go on the first night. Like, she doesn't sidekick at all.
Exactly.
And the entire time the guy's like, when is she going to start bringing up Kawhi and their date? And then the only thing she says is like, wow, that first date was really good because, I feel like we really know each other and I was able to talk to him, and that built my confidence up for the next night to actually be able to go out. So he's just kind of like,
you just fucking left me out of the dirt right now. Yeah, exactly.
No. He didn't leave her. She didn't leave him out in the dirt. Like, he was starting to get like embarrassed because he was like, she's not even gonna mention Kawhi. Like, she's only gonna mention our date.
Right.
So.
I was talking about leaving Kawhi out in the dirt.
Oh yeah. So it seems very clearly like they're ramping it up to where it's like Kawhi's there, but he's not actually really make many advances. Like, he's not gonna make any real advances. It's like, yeah, he'll take her out for drinks, but he's not actually gonna do anything about.
It's a little bit too tight right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of. I feel like his thing is gonna be more of just like a straight friendship thing.
Right. It's which I kind of do like because I do want them to kind of because like the whole like after story plus the whole like MMO interaction thing is a little bit more common. I don't think I've actually seen that really before, right? And I do want that to kind of continue and see where that goes. I don't want this whole because like the whole like romance in the MMO, like I've seen that shit before. Most notably, recently, there's the whole like Netuge like Yome, right? Or whatever. The fan service one that Toast also watched, right? So I've sort of seen that, been there, done that before. So I do want to see this sort of after story side. That'd be really nice, I think. But I guess. I mean, do you have any other comments on like how the MMO or the character interaction sort of stuff work outside of the romance? That is.
Would you recommend it to people who play MMOs? And
not really. No, that should not be your like go-to for this because it's not like I remember when this first came out or when we first started watching this, one of the first things I said to Spire was like, damn, I really wish World of Warcraft or like FF14 was really, really big in Japan because every time we watch one of these shows, it's like some weird fucking
like, is it
isometric like Ragnarok type MMO.
Yeah, exactly.
None of them are
don't diss Ragnarok. It's still going strong. And also, FF14 is already popular enough to have an anime. And by anime, I mean a real life series. That's on Netflix.
So by anime, you mean not at all?
Yeah, not at all.
You mean not at all?
It's Father of Light or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man,
whatever.
That anime show is pretty good.
Yeah, that anime. That's not anime at all.
What about the in-game scenes? Isn't that anime style? No. Anime?
No.
Are you okay?
Fucking just completely broken.
What if we had a musical? Like that's an anime, right?
Oh man, like it's just I don't know. I would really like it if these sorts of MMO shows would actually diversify what MMOs they show because it's always like a dime a dozen MMOs.
It's just like lack of research over on the part. It's very.
I don't think it's lack of research because there's a lot there. Like Ragnarok and like all those are like there's a lot there, but.
Dark, are you forgetting the PSO2 anime?
Well, it's more.
Shut up.
Well, it's more just like the people that are there are just like they're like, oh, what's the thing I play, and then they just do whatever, right? That's the issue.
Yeah,
they're literally doing no research. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's closer. Yeah. The fucking MMO they play seems closer to like a mobile game than an MMO. So I don't. I never really like that kind of thing, or rather, I would just like to see it. More in-depth sort of not description but in-depth like recreation of an MMO in a show like that.
The
doesn't have to be anything too crazy.
The MMO parts in PSO2 were like that before we got to the main story.
That's kind of cheating because I'm not talking I want to see like FF14 and I want to see like World of Warcraft. I just want to see like a more straight-laced MMO of like very clear like here's this thing, you level up, you do dungeons, you get gear and stuff like that, whereas this is like it's kind of unclear as to what you actually do in the game, and it's like it just seems I don't know, it seems isolated. I would have liked to have seen an MMO somewhat like modicum of an MMO world in this show instead of an MMO
like world building a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be world building. It could be like different sort of like a few different like set pieces or like towns or something in like a bigger MMO world.
You mean like
it doesn't even really need to explain it. It could just show us different landmass things and like different locations of them doing stuff. Whereas
if you're gonna bring up Log Horizon, dude, do not. Yeah.
If you see like a background.
Dark, if you want something like that, you're gonna have to go into isekai territory.
No, like that. But that's not even what I mean.
Or you can watch the King's Avatar like me.
Like the thing is that they just have these isolated instances of maybe different locations in an MMO that could be in an MMO, but it's never like them really walking through an MMO town or walking through an MMO dungeon.
And doing like specific things instead of like.
You mean Sword Art Online?
No,
Don't do that.
don't.
Stop this. Stop
Fucking
this.
radio gun.
Also, Sword Art Online didn't really have like real life interactions until like way later there, so it's a little bit different.
After the really bad fairy dance arc.
Yeah, and then Kirito gets whacked over the head again, but that's another story. But anyways, Dark. So, any last comments on Netuju?
Yeah, don't let that dissuade you from checking this out, because this was more of like a have your cake kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'd much prefer.
It's a little bit more on like, oh, they're playing MMO, haha, and then they're also like that also leads into real life stuff more than it is. Oh, they're playing MMO, and this is what it's all about. It's not that sort of series.
Yeah, it's. I would rather have what we have now than like more established MMO world and less of
Yeah, exactly.
real life interactions or just less interactions in
Yeah,
general.
because that just goes into the whole like VR world,
That
whatever
sounds
stuff.
straight like an
and
isekai. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly,
so-
exactly.
I like isekai.
I mean, it's not like isekai is like terrible in and of itself. We're just saying that like in this sort of case, like especially if we're just trying to go for something new, maybe isekai isn't necessarily the formula we would go for.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you for giving us the heads up on Netuju no Susume, or Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
It's good. Watch it.
And with that, we are done with all 3 series reviews for today, and we will go straight into the news. Actually, all of our news this week is pretty much all like company related stuff, so hopefully it'll go by faster. The first piece of news: Saudi Arabian media company Manga Productions began streaming a teaser trailer on Saturday for an animation titled The Woodcutter's Treasure, which is produced in collaboration with Japanese animation company Toei Animation. The Woodcutter's Treasure will be a 25-minute animation based on Saudi Arabian folklore and aimed at children and families. It will serve as a pilot for a planned television series. So kind of like international, kind of reaching out. It kind of looks like Rick and Morty for some reason.
Excuse me?
What?
Some high IQ shit, dude.
How does it look like Rick and Morty?
The faces.
No, it doesn't.
I'm anime Rick. Ooh. Doesn't really look like Rick and Morty at all, you fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know. The face like a little bit like that, or like when the eyes
Do you
open at least.
even
and not,
watch
like,
American Anime Spire?
I'm sorry for mistaking it for not being exactly like.
Don't antagonize the Rick and Morty fan base. They'll eat you alive like they did at the McDonald's people when they didn't have the Szechuan sauce.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still waiting for that sauce.
So I guess hopefully there'll be more sort of collaborations like this in the future. Although there has been a couple of like other Middle Eastern stuff. Like there was one thing like near when I believe Gundam Reconquista was like starting up or something like that. Like there was another sort of Middle Eastern collaboration that was interesting. Especially with regards to like Saudi Arabia and so on, they have a lot of money. So hopefully there'll be some more interesting collaborations that aren't just like children's shows.
Here's the real question. Why does his tongue come out from the top of his jaw in that last
Yeah, that's
scene?
what I was wondering. I was like, what's going on there? But it's a children's show, so it's kind of whatever. But next piece of news, mainly on the awards, just like on the awards part. So first off, live action Ghost in the Shell film wins Hollywood Professional Association's award for color grading.
That's like the most nothing fucking award you can earn. I just want to throw that out
funny.
there.
That's like actually why I quit. I was like, what? What does that even mean? So I knew you'd, but the film was also nominated in Outstanding Visual Effects category, but did not win. But yeah.
If anyone's curious as to what color grading is, as far as I know, it's like literally them matching like the fucking
isn't it
colors
just
of
having,
shit.
Yeah, the palette.
a proper palette in your movie?
Yeah,
exactly.
like proper palettes of like the effects
You don't have a
versus
shitty palette.
the actors. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't look exactly like this actor standing in front of a fucking screen 24/7. So
Yeah, exactly.
good
But
job.
I mean,
I guess.
it's also Ghost in the Shell, so it's not like, I mean, it's not like it's super like colorful, right?
Well, I'm
Well,
pretty sure that's not what color grading means.
Yeah, you
yeah,
don't have to have
I know,
a
but it's not like
colorful
they
thing
had.
to have a good
Yeah, I know,
palette.
but they didn't have to go through like a whole bunch of like things, right? They didn't have to deal with like a whole bunch of like random transitions, for instance, right? Like
No.
yeah. So,
Like they might have had a few between like nightclubs and shit, but like
that's true.
it's just like
Shame it didn't win the award for
yeah.
fucking actually making money.
Or doing a correct adaptation of stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyways, moving on. There are also 5 anime films that have been submitted for an animated feature Oscar this year, and those 5 are In This Corner of the World, Mary and the Witch's Flower, Napping Princess, A Silent Voice, and Sword Art Online the movie, or No Scale. Please,
What?
whoever's
That's fine.
Well, the Emoji Movie's on this list, so I guess the standards aren't very high.
Yeah. Whoever's, please do not
Why is it
let
Heaven's Feel on this list?
Because it's not. It just came out. It's not like all these are like way before. They have like actual deadlines.
Why
stuff, right?
isn't Kantai Collection on this list? What about the Pokemon movie?
Shut the fuck up.
It all got booted off by Coco.
Or,
Yeah. And the Boss
Snow.
Baby. The Boss Baby is better than Heaven's
Oh,
Feel.
The Pokemon movie's not
Boss
on there.
Baby is better than Heaven's Feel. Confirmed.
Pikachu fucking speaks and everybody hates it.
It's so gross.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
people were like, "Whoa, Pikachu speaking!" But isn't it like that's what Ash heard? Because Ash and Pikachu are like best.
Yeah, because
bros.
Ash is fucking going delusional because he's been
Dying.
fucking 10 years old for God knows how long, and he's slowly going insane.
Did everybody forget Ash was the person that hooked up Pikachu to a fucking like electric bike generator via bike and fucking tried to like electrify his Pikachu to death for training purposes?
No,
Yeah,
it was
dude.
so he could beat that Onyx, and it worked.
Cuddler and
It
Iron
worked,
Tail.
Spire. So
They're like, you're gonna fucking eat all this electricity and like just ran the bike in the rain and shit like that. Like, come on now.
You don't let this move, I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
I thought it was he hooked him up to a generator inside the Poke Center, and then he blew up the Poke Center, and then Misty got really mad at him for. No, that was a different bike.
No. He had to like go into this like hut or some shit like that with like a water
Poke
wheel.
Center. What? No.
Cool.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, there was like a water wheel shit with like a generator thing. But yeah, anyways, please do not let or No Scale win. I swear to God.
Heaven's Feel isn't on this list, nor is Oath Under Snow. So why would it win? It's gonna be the Despicable. Wait, Minions? No. What am I? Emoji Movie's definitely gonna win.
Yeah, probably.
For the memes, yeah. Anyways, next piece of news. Another front on the another studio / like I guess distribution platform has now established a digital publication subsidiary, IG Port. The parent company of Animation Studios Production IG, which studios DPEG as Signal MD, and publisher Matt Garden voted on October 20th to establish a new subsidiary aimed at expanding digital publication. The company's tentative name is Lingua Franca.
Whoa, dude. Volcano parasites? Shit.
30-year-old Kyohei Shinfuku, who previously worked as the supervising editor on Matt Garden manga such as The Ancient Magus Bride, will serve as representative director. So this is first of all, it's relatively obvious that this is, especially last episode where we talked about how IG Port was actually losing a lot of money on pretty much everything, especially animation.
Yeah.
And the only thing they were really making big bucks on was franchising, right? Like licensing rights, right?
I think it was like only production IG that was making money, right?
Yeah, and even they were like not making like actual money off like the actual animations and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's obvious that they're kind of making strong moves, like standard moves in the industry that everybody's doing these days to keep up with it, right? And one of them is digitization, right? Making digital editions of whatever. But this is also good. I mean, it's not good that they're fucking bleeding out money, right? But it's good that they're making digital stuff and maybe competing with stuff like Yen Press and so on, like maybe how visual arts for like visual novels, are sort of working directly with translation teams and kind of doing their own stuff, right? They're not necessarily always working with Sekai Project. They're like hiring like TL Wiki people, stuff like that. If IG Port can do something similar, that'll be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, expanding digital publication always good. Hopefully they do some other actions also to make up for the fact that they're like bleeding out money just by being anime people. But we can only hope. Yeah. So good luck to them. Next piece of news. This one is the one I was actually laughing about here. Kemono Friends anime director Tatsuki announced on October 28th that he is recruiting experienced background artists for an unannounced project. He said that he would reply to proposals by the end of the month. Tatsuki, I believe, he said that he was no longer working on the new Kemono Friends anime project. Like that was a recent like scandal/incident that happened like a couple weeks back, right?
Yeah, and it's not that he quit or anything. He was just straight up fired. Yeah,
he was fired because of like some weird shit going on. But yeah, so he is creating a new sort of anime project by himself. And obviously, the best way to do it is to announce on Twitter. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it doesn't end up like.
if the president of our nation is on Twitter, why not an anime company?
You're right, Toast.
Seems good.
Seems good. But yeah, we'll hopefully see how that goes out. And
kind of looks like I don't know if this is like the kind of art he's going to be doing in his project, but the art that's in the tweet kind of makes me think of like a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Hopefully it'll be hopefully it'll be something pretty big. I guess there's like a decent amount of anticipation for it because it is from the Kemono Friends people, but we'll see how it goes. It could end up like the TQ thing where it's like everybody's just like a hobo like eating from trash cans, and then it still gets like 8 seasons for whatever reason.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that guy is gonna have a following no matter what he does now that he's done Kemono Friends.
Yeah, hopefully it'll well. And the last sort of section of the news is just a little bit in terms of like sales reporting, random sales reporting and stuff like that. Here we go. The first piece of news. Shochiku, a film and theater company sort of covering a whole bunch of, like anime films and stuff like that, released its quarterly financial results last month, revealing a sales number for the period of March 1st to August 31st, the first half of fiscal year 2017. So, total sales, 3.3% increase compared to the same period last year. Operating profit, overall profit, is 15.2% increase from last year. Ordinary income, 19.6% increase, and net income, a 13.4% increase. So yeah. The company reported that it distributed 11 Japanese live-action films, 4 Western films, and 7 anime films over the 6-month period. These included The Magical Girl, Lyrical Nana Reflection, Free Timeless Melody, Kizuna, Free Timeless Melody Yakusoku, and Gekijoban Kuroko no Basket, Last Game, Kuroko's Basketball, the movie, Last Game anime films, as well as the live-action film adaptations of Tokyo Ghoul, P to JK, or Police to Joshikose, Real Life, Ani to Aisare Sugite Komattemasu, Ani ni aisare sugite komattemasu, or I think it's like I'm getting loved by I'm troubled because I'm getting loved by my brother too much, and Peach Girl manga. I feel like that the one I just translated is a yaoi series, but whatever. Shochikun noted that P2JK, Keki Joban Kuroko no Basket, and High Low, the movie 2 / End of Sky live action film, and Tokyo Ghoul as particularly popular titles. Yeah, Japanese girls really like Tokyo Ghoul, so I'm not too surprised. Yeah.
Nier, do you like Tokyo Ghoul?
Yeah. Do you like Tokyo Ghoul?
I have not read Tokyo Ghoul. I'm sorry.
So,
Oh,
so
no,
this
the other
is
one.
a little piece of evidence, I guess.
What was it called? Psychopaths? Yeah.
Psychopaths. Yeah.
Yeah. Girls like Tokyo Ghoul. Like, that's true.
Yeah, it's edgy and it has effeminate boys in it. So it's a killer combination, apparently.
Nier, are you in Tokyo Ghoul?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's that. Nikkei, Japanese financial newspaper Nikkei published a report on Monday that Cool Japan Fund Inc. Incorporated, the public-private company that the Japanese government employs to fund projects such as part of its Cool Japan program, has underperformed in most of its investments. The report
I'm glad you put this in here because I was going to bring it up.
The report claimed that according to internal documents, 10 or more of the company's 18 investments that it decided on last year are proving so far unsuccessful. The report further alleged that many of these projects are connected closely to the company's leadership. Blah, blah, blah. So it lists some of those projects, like spending 250 million yen to partner with Nagasaki Business Consortium to acquire a 50% stake in a venture to operate cafes specializing in Japanese tea in the United States. Blah, blah, blah. And then it changed to like a takeout business and shit like that. The report also noted that the fund invested 4.4 billion yen in Waku Waku Japan, an entertainment channel that broadcasts Japanese entertainment and operates in East and Southeast Asia, so on and so forth. So a lot of these okay. So and then the summary: Cool Japan is a program supported by the Japanese government and various companies that promotes modern Japanese culture, such as anime and manga abroad. The program revolves around the premise that Japan's strength in business and international affairs lies in anime, manga, films, fashion, and other fields of Japanese arts and entertainment content. So yeah, just I guess a little bit of like wasteful spending, maybe a tiny bit of corruption here and there, right? And then the Japanese government just not having any idea like what's going on, right? Because probably they're all like old men, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I remember when they first started this this whole thing, there were a lot of Japanese artists that were like, "This is a complete waste of money." Because
yeah, exactly.
You can't. A lot of them were saying like you can't sell culture to another culture. Like that's stupid, right? You can't
be like
anime
hey,
a culture.
Stuff. Yeah.
You can't just dump money into shit that's like, oh well, we'll just put Japanese stuff overseas.
Yeah, exactly.
And somehow that'll turn a profit. Like that. That's
exactly.
That's a stupid idea. Like
and
it's
also,
all.
it's like it doesn't really have an objective, right? It's like they have culture, and then what do people? Okay, so people start liking Japanese culture. Like, what happens then? Like, there's no real objective.
Yes.
I mean,
And
have you seen anime? There are some people who like Japanese culture that much.
Have you been
Yes.
to H Mart?
Believe it or not, Toast, anime isn't the entirety of Japanese culture.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like there was
what if Cool Japan
very little
anime.
Anime has roots in Japan, but the point is there was very little end game, and on top of that, the way the selection was done, the way these like old people are just like, yeah, we'll get some people from Nagasaki and like sell Japanese teas in the United States, like shit like that. Like it ended up being a veritable disaster, essentially, right? Because it's like they had no idea what's going on, and they have no coherent end goal, right?
Yeah. It was. It's quite interesting to see the Japanese government just dump money into something so abstract as like selling culture.
Yeah, spreading
culture.
Know, yeah.
My mom went to like Chinatown, got me a Uniqlo shirt. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you enamored with Japanese culture now?
Yes.
Now you're a real Chinese man, right?
Yeah. Anyways, next last two pieces of news. Former Funimation parent company Navarre enters bankruptcy protection. Navari, the former parent company of the North American anime distributor Funimation, along with its current owner, WYNIT Holdings, filed for protection under Chapter 11 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code on September 9th. So yeah, Funimation revealed on October 28th that it's closed the deal for Sony Pictures Television Network's acquisition of a majority stake in the company. So Funimation is skipping over to Sony. That's interesting. I mean, Sony has the money, but what Sony will do with Funimation is another thing. Because obviously, I don't think Sony is going to look.
PlayStation anime.
Yeah, but I mean, there's already an anime for regarding I don't know, whatever it is. Sekai no Chu no whatever it is, right? In the middle of the blue sky or something like that. But the point I was getting was Sony is going to look at the top dog right now in terms of like subbing and doing like localization, licensing kind of stuff, which is Crunchyroll, right? And they're not going to look at that and then look back at Funimation and be like, yeah, we're okay with being like second, not top dog, right?
Weren't Crunchyroll and Funimation already like? Didn't they already like strike some deal where they're essentially just working together at this point?
Yeah. They were striking some sort of like weird deal where it's like they were like kind of splitting some like processes, right? Like some sort of like weird niches. I don't think they were splitting like specific franchises or anything like that. They're just like splitting some like weird niche stuff.
Yeah,
but,
like fucking Funimation is essentially giving Crunchyroll the manpower or whatever to do simul dubs. And then I guess Crunchyroll fucking jacks off in the corner and says thanks.
Yeah, I know. So, but my question is, will Sony be content with that, or will Sony act to aggressively kind of make Funimation sort of take more of a role in this, aggressively take more, licenses, do whatever, regardless of their quality, take more licenses, kind of, act towards that is what I'm wondering.
I mean, best case scenario is Sony puts money into Funimation, which honestly, I don't think Sony really has the money to do right now. Like pretty much everything Sony has that isn't PlayStation is failing. So I don't know what kind of position Sony is to be putting money into stuff like Funimation. But best case scenario is they put money into Funimation, they get bigger, and they can then essentially split off from Crunchyroll, so doing their own thing. And they hopefully become better.
Does that mean we could have like Sony funded Funimation dubbed movies for like One Piece and Dragon Ball?
Does that mean we could finally have actual fucking competition?
Yeah,
finally, for once.
That's the ideal scenario. Is it creates competition.
Yeah. But hopefully that could happen.
What
but
else
like
does
again,
Funimation do other than One Piece and Dragon Ball that's popular?
They get a lot of seasonal stuff. They had fucking Prison School.
Yeah.
And they had to fire their writer.
Who has Overlord?
I think that's Crunchyroll. I'm not sure though.
But yeah, Funimation gets some decent picks. They don't pick up everything, but what they do pick up tends to be what they think is going to be popular. Like they had Psychopaths
exactly.
back then, and stuff like that. They seem to pick what they think will make money.
But yeah, we'll
Funimation is Overlord. Oh, they could release the Overlord movie then.
Yeah,
sweet.
Maybe. But yeah, hopefully that'll go well. We'll see. Maybe hopefully some competition or something like that. But cross your fingers. Last piece of news: a little bit of reports on the Toei Animation published on October 27th. Its earnings for its current fiscal year through its second quarter. So consolidated sales 18.6% increase from the same period last year. Operating profit 24.7% increase. A lot of that increase is from copyright and licensing sales, obviously, as well as some other stuff. Like Toei cited that sales of its Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle smartphone game were key in this area. The game has reached $200 million worldwide and top sales rankings at Apple's App Store in 14 countries.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Dokkan Battle Ultra Instinct Goku Super's doing pretty well. I mean,
I thought that shit was fake.
No, it's not. I mean, what are
Yeah, I
his other
guess not.
competitors in the? What are his other competitors for Shadowverse, Duel Links, Grand Order, Dragon Quest Rivals? That's coming out.
Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Its film, so Toei's film sector sales amounted to a 7.2% increase from last year, but operating profit was down 36%. And then the anime title sales were also up in terms of the total sales, but a little bit down, or around the same in terms of the same period profits. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. Again, this sort of standard, a lot of studios these days being carried by their old copyright and licensing kind of stuff. But we'll see how the rest of that goes in future segments. And we are down to our last segment, which is our shoutouts and callouts.
You forgot one piece of news, though.
What?
You forgot one really big piece of news.
What is it?
Hiro Mitsuru?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to cover. Fuck! I forgot to cover people. I apologize. You're right. Sorry. That was my mistake. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck.
What?
Goodbye.
Dude,
What?
so shame.
Sudoku.
Sorry, I'm back. I press the Chrome tab to reload the tab. All in Discord, so that completely fucked me. But yeah, anyways, couple of people news. What is it? The vocalist behind Mythroid, the people that did the Overlord opening, or the ending, right? No, yeah, the ending for Overlord and stuff for ReZero. The vocalist behind it, Mayu, will quote unquote graduate from the group to pursue a solo career, so good luck to her. The voice actress Romy Park left her agency after 22 years. She opened a new personal website called LAL in order to work independently. So she's, going on the big stage because, she's probably earned enough money and enough experience for herself, etc. And as you said, very unfortunate news. The voice actor behind Bulma, right? Tsuruhiromi. She passed away on Thursday, November 16th, due to unknown causes at the age of 57.
It was confirmed to be aortic dissection.
So it was heart failure right there. So she was found unconscious in the driver's seat of a car. But yeah, please do wish her friends and family many condolences. She did do a lot of very important roles over the years. Again, the most iconic being Bulma from Dragon Ball. But we will all definitely miss her voice, especially considering the works ahead. But yeah, with that, a little bit more of a somber tone, we will move now on to shoutouts and callouts. Shoutout is one thing from each person that you want to compliment, praise, disguise, whatever. And it can be any one thing. It can be the bottle of juice next to you. It can be flag, people, nation, whatever. And call out is the exact opposite. Something that you want to insult, talk down to, etc. And it can be any one thing. It can be your desk. It can be the new pen you bought. It can be shitty laptops. It can be the fact that I fucking bought both sequels of Dekonin for whatever reason, etc. So yeah, again, each person gets one shout out and one call out. I guess I'll go first. My call out is the fucking shitty ass stamina systems in gacha games, because that shit bugs me so much. It's not really important. It only fucks me over a little bit in the grand course of things. But I hate seeing that stamina bar be at max, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to play it, but I have actually important things to do, and it fucking sucks. So
You want to know? You want to know bad stamina systems? I fucking Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation came out a couple days ago, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll download this and I'll see how it is, right? And I played it, and I ran out of stamina, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll just come back to this in like 30 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back about an hour later, and my stamina was exactly the same. I was like,
what? What's
Wait,
the stamina timer?
Wait a minute. And I hover over the stamina bar, and it said stamina refresh in 800 minutes.
800 minutes?
And
is that like a global reset or just a really, really long?
Yeah, apparently it like globally your stamina just refreshes every 12 hours.
On a phone game? Ew, gross.
What the fuck?
It's the most boggling thing I've ever seen.
That's fucked up. That is very fucked up.
This isn't Dungeon Fighter Online. What's wrong with you?
That's fucked up. But yeah, that's yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Was it worth the time that you played it?
Yeah, I got to see cute girls in bikinis, so it was pretty good.
My shout out. My shout out honestly goes to Nekonin. I have to say it. It goes to Nekonin, not because it's an actually like really good.
Was it worth the purchase?
Depends on what your previous experience is with visual novels. There are like other visual novels. There are probably other visual novels that you should watch or read before you head into this one.
You mean like Fate Stay Night?
No, I mean like Majikoi. But
Isn't Majikoi like a 300-hour ordeal?
But you just it's just a Fate. You realize Fate has more lines than Lord of the Rings, right? Like,
it does. Good.
Yes, that's like one of
it does.
Yeah. But anyways, the thing is, it's not that it's like a good visual novel, but it's like first of all,
was it worth the price? Answer that question first.
Assuming you know what you came in for, it's worth the price. But what I would say is like it kind of real in terms of like real life stuff. I was kind of going through a slightly rough patch in the past like week or so, but Nekonin really kind of like helped lighten the mood a little bit, and that kind of helped me out a lot. So shout outs to it. But,
truly, anime saves lives.
Anime saves lives. So yeah, shout outs to that. I honestly wanted to call out EA, but I figured that calling out fucking gacha systems would be much better. But yeah, so probably somebody else will call out EA
Basically,
right now. So.
the same thing.
Basically the same thing.
Did you get what you wanted from the gacha though?
No, I didn't actually.
Wow.
I fucking saved up so much.
Wow, you never do.
Yeah, I have the worst. Okay, so this is a little bit off tangent, but it's like I have like in terms of like gacha, especially like the idol gacha stuff. I always have the worst luck when I'm actually like trying to focus, like pull for something specific, and whenever something comes up, and I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck about this gacha. Like first pull, I get the feature like UR or SSR or whatever. I'm just like, I don't care. I'm like So it's very frustrating to me. But yeah, that's just my complaints on luck. Anyways, Toast. Shout out to calls, please.
My shout out is to Hiro Mitsuru. Thank you for your hard work in Dragon Ball and as Bulma. You and Misako are the original two cast. You will be sorely missed by everyone.
And then
my call out is to Duel Links. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links released on Steam. And I just want to play Cyber Angels, but then I have to grind with Jaden's crappy Elemental Hero deck that doesn't have Masked Heroes to get it. Then I have to grind through Chaz it up in his really bad Ojama deck, no Armed Dragon. And then like I finally got to now I have to grind to get Alexis's deck, but then yeah. I don't want to have to grind through 2 series just to get Alexis. Let me play Alexis. I want to play Cyber Angels.
All right.
I have to start all that.
Yeah. Dark.
My shout out's gonna be for Final Fantasy 15 Comrades because it's a pretty fun DLC, and it seems like they're gonna really expand upon it. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Has probably one of the cooler boss fights in the entire game. Not gonna say who or what it is because that's a pretty big spoiler, but it's a lot of fun. I hope they do a completely different co-op thing though at some point that actually makes it open world because everything's kind of bleak in this. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my shout. For my call out, I'm gonna be calling out Crunchyroll because what the fuck is that new live action series that they're? Actually, a matter of fact, I'm calling out anyone fucking affiliated with Crunchyroll as well. And anyone
Yo,
who
what if
uses
we get sponsored
Crunchyroll
by
and
Crunchyroll
anyone
though?
Don't hate on
Yeah.
that voice actor, dude. What's his name?
ProZD or
Well,
whatever.
Pro-
I bet he's
yeah,
just doing it
no.
for the memes.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, if you're gonna fucking
Prozac.
sell your soul like that, you
Prozac.
deserve to be fucking talked down to. Like that series looks like absolute fucking dog shit. Like
Is it-
what are we like? Let's not even cut fucking whatever here. Like
Yeah.
that series looks like ass. Really does.
But the
Like I
memes.
never really liked a lot of Freddie Wong stuff. I think it's been overrated, but I can respect what he had done.
Mhm.
But like this shit looks like worse than what Freddie put out like originally. He was just making fucking basic After Effects tutorials of him shooting guns. Like some of the effects in this are like just absolute fucking AIDS. Like this show could not have been made for more than like a couple $100 at most.
Yeah.
Probably paid them with like a bunch of Five Guys or something, or avocados. I don't know. Can't afford
Avocados.
to eat.
I
Avocados
mean,
are
unless-
like $2, man. $2
I-
per avocado.
It's just absurd how fucking awful this looks and how much people will defend it when you get shit like the Kino subs or pretty much any of the subs Crunchyroll puts out in any given season. But this is kind of the cherry on top to where I had been saying for a while that Crunchyroll's trying to push first party content. Fucking garbage. Now they've finally like fully gone for it and really tried to make, well, they didn't really try, but they went and put out something that's like a full-fledged first-party thing instead of like a podcast type ordeal.
Mhm.
So it's just very, very fun to fucking see how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty unfortunate, but I mean it's Crunchyroll, so I'm not sure how much I'm not sure how much I am surprised at this point. So.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I have just kind of gotten to the breaking point of I'm just gonna shit on everyone who defends and uses this website like full force. Fuck it, why not?
That's true. Okay, so with that, we go on to Nier.
While Nier's thinking, my second shout out is to Shadowverse.
Shut up.
My shoutouts callouts are also gacha related. My shout out goes to Fire Emblem Heroes. Pulled 5-star Mia like on the fucking free pull that they gave me. That was pretty nice. And my call out also goes to Fire Emblem Heroes because they had like the Nintendo does the direct things, right? They did that for Fire Emblem Heroes, and they were like, "Oh, look at all these new systems and new story chapters and shit." And a couple months back, there was an interview that somebody asked, like, Fire Emblem Heroes is very much a game that can suffer very hard from something like power creep. Like you just keep introducing stuff that's better and better and better, and then eventually it gets to the point where like you have to have the new stuff or you essentially just can't play the game because you're just not going to be strong enough. And they were like, yeah, we're very, very aware of this, and we're going to be fixing it and doing something about it. And in this direct they had, they introduced a new system where you can essentially upgrade weapons, which makes the problem of power creep even fucking worse.
Right.
Because you're essentially going, hey, we have all these units that are crazy fucking powerful and essentially busted with the skill, like you can transfer skills from one character to another and make them completely ridiculously powerful. And they're aware of this problem, and they go, okay, so instead of like doing anything about that, we're going to give you a system that can make you even stronger, that also costs resources that you're also going to have to buy.
Right.
Like, they could not hide the fact, like, they couldn't be any more blatant about having to fucking pay to win in this game. Like, if you're not whaling, you have to scrounge so fucking hard for resources. You essentially
that's sort of like what a lot of the mobile game these days have gotten to, where it's like not only do they introduce like even when they're quote unquote considered more friendly in terms of like free to play, they're always like they always make it like quote unquote more friendly by putting in these sort of indirect ways to scrounge harder, like, oh, you can scrounge more, sort of a thing. Like,
yeah, except Fire Emblem doesn't really have that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
not even that friendly. Yeah,
they're like, they give out these missions and shit, but then they're like, oh, you can get some orbs, but only if you kill like X amount of enemies with this specific unit. And it's like, well, how the fuck am I gonna get that unit without spending orbs? Like, what do you want from me, man? It's so blatant that like, yeah, just give us your money and you can do good in this game. And it's like, well, I don't really want to play this game anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when it becomes too obviously like pay to win, especially like just kind of like when you're not already at the late game and you're not just like, oh yeah, I'll just do gacha every once in a while or whatever. When you're kind of like stuck in that struggle, it's so hard. It's like yeah. Like you already have to be like, yeah, I have like essentially everything.
Yeah, like if you're not at the point in Fire Emblem right now where you're like, yeah, I've got several teams of 5-star units that can do like chain challenges and stuff, and I've got a team that can win the PvP arena stuff like super easily. Like if you're not already at that point, there's no reason to play Fire Emblem Heroes.
Right, exactly.
Because it is a very unfriendly game for anybody starting it.
It is very unfortunate. That's just the way these gachas are rolling these days. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Thanks, Japan.
Yeah. Fucking. Anyways, I guess with that, we are done with the shoutouts and callouts. And again, we'll have, there's still at least like 2 to 5 more series, big name series to go. So we'll probably be covering that in the next, couple of episodes there. And then we have to do our preview, and that leads us to our next preview show, which will be actually, in my opinion, the winter preview show is always one of the most interesting, just because that's when all of the sort of the small studios and whatever come out, right? Because that's the new year is when everybody's kind of trying to be experimental in a sense. Yeah. So that's like a month at least in the future. So
I feel like it'll be hard to top this season. This season was pretty good.
This season was like I don't think there were like superb like masterpieces or anything like that. Like anime wise, I'm talking about anime wise, not just like based off the Addis, but I'm just like there weren't necessarily like super like big stuff. But it was not like one of those series or seasons where it's just like, yeah, kind of whatever's happening, and like all the big like hype stuff ends up kind of falling flat. Like it was a pretty solid list. Like the series that were supposed to be solid for the most part were solid, except for stuff like Juni Tyson and stuff like that, where it's like, and to a lesser extent Just Because, and it's like stuff like that. But for the most part, it stayed solid. So that's something to be thankful for, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah. And with that, again, we'll wrap up episode 81 of 4PlayAnimecast. Thank you for joining us, both here, live chatters here, and for the listeners out there. Yeah, we stream this every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast. That's with the number 4. We talk about the latest and greatest in anime, manga, light novels, web novels, originals, and all other forms of Japanese animation media. And sometimes, again, we play, I guess, it's like anime-related games, visual novels, whatever. Here and on our hitbox, same name, 4PlayAnimecast. If you like what we do, please follow us here. Please also follow us on our social media, where we give updates on, whenever we're streaming, whatever events we're doing, etc., etc., etc. That's on our Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast, as well as on our Twitter at 4PPAnimeCast. That's our handle. Also with the number 4. Visit us on our website at 4PlayAnimeCast.moe, where we have all of our podcasts and other content, interviews, sidecasts, live reactions, so on and so forth, on our website, available there. And we also post our podcast in various formats on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, 4PlayAnimecast, as well as available in Twitch files and MP3, which are also available in iTunes and Google Play Music, so you can listen to them on the go. So yeah, listen to us there, follow us on here, and until next time.